Eastside classes.
By thy side we'll stand and always praise thy name.
Praise our names.
To heaven,
Yeah.
lend our hearts and hands to help increase thy fame. The honor of Eastside brings forth our loyalty.
Loyalty.
So cheer for dear old Eastside High.
Eastside.
Lead on to victory.
Hailing from Ellenwood, Georgia, this group housed 4 members who stormed the independent rap scene with local hits such as Don't Buck and branched off with separate ventures as one member created Hoodrich Entertainment, which later became the home of DJ Scream, DJ Spins, Hoodrich Pablo Juan, and Big Facts Podcast. This group housed what is now a future production company, entertainment company, and nothing less than the evolution of growth at its best. Welcome, V.I.P, to the Real Eastside Story.
What's going on?
What's going on? So first of all, let everybody know what your name is.
Well, I am Cliff, today known as Cliff Banger. It's a Banger is the brand. Back in the day, I went by HNIC, a part of the group V.I.P, 4 members. But first of all, I don't want to start this interview without shouting you out, Ms. Raw. You know, we come from the same stomping grounds, and watching you do your thing. At a young age, you was an inspiration to us as well. So, you know.
Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that.
100.
Okay, so one of 4 members. So let's start off with you telling everybody what your background is.
All right, so I'm Cliff. I was born in Albany, Georgia. Me and my family relocated to the east side, Glenwood, 107 in Arthur's Court. And then later I moved to Ellenwood. All 4 of us in the group V.I.P. Hail pretty much between Ellenwood, Decatur, Conley Era, Wishing Wells. But we all went to school together. So a lot of our story is based around the schools that we went to, the times that we spent together hanging out. But before it was 4 of us, it started off as 2.
Okay.
And so, gotta start with me and CK, R.I.P., my BFF, man, my brother.
R.I.P. Chauncey, my BFF, my brother. That's right, Chauncey King.
Yeah, CK, Chauncey King, that's my dude, man. Shit, man, we live right around the corner from each other. He lived with his grandma. You know, we both discovered that we had a similar love in music, some of the same tastes. And, you know, he was a poet. And, you know, he, sorry, I got to take a pause right there. That's my brother, man. He was a poet, and, you know, I started writing music early, and, you know, we just hung out and just started writing raps and stuff, man, you know, almost like battle. You know, he'll write something, I try to come something harder, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we came up, all the way up to the point where our school relationships, one day we had Goody Mob, who was back when they were signed with LaFace. They came to our school, and we actually got a chance to meet their A&R, a guy named Tommy Henderson, and he actually gave us a small chance to, you know, to show what we had. And, you know, we were just young and didn't really know what we were doing, you know, the business of it, but that kind of put our foot in the door to kind of, you know, take this a little bit serious, like we got something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you said something about Chauncey. You got me teary-eyed because he was definitely a poet.
Oh yeah.
And he was definitely one in a million with his poetry. So when did you actually start writing? Like around what year, what time period?
Seriously, I want to say about 96, 97. So we talking about the Eastside, you know, we got Freaknik going on, and Freaknik was all around the whole city, not just downtown Atlanta, but the Eastside was lit. Everything used to be jumping. So we started writing our music, getting serious about it, and around that time we was working in the mall, and we met a club promoter. And he noticed that we were young, working in the mall, and he offered us some money to, you know, pass out flyers. Whatever flyer came back, you know, we get a certain amount or whatever. So with that, we'll go to the club, and, you know, whether it was popping or not, we end up getting to know the DJs. And one of the DJs, DJ Threat, and another guy, DJ Triple D. Got to give them credit. They had an open mic. Me and CK, me and Chauncey, we went in there, spit for them, tore it up. They gave us their number, told us to come see them the next day. Went to, never forget, Sun Valley Apartments.
Okay.
Shout out to Sun Valley, Boulder Crest.
Real Eastside.
Real Eastside shit. Went over there, spit for him. He ended up pairing us up with this group off of Washington Road, Young Ballers. Shout out to them. And we ended up recording our first little song, you know what I'm saying? It was on a karaoke machine, you know what I'm saying? We in the projects out there in Sun Valley, recorded our first song on the karaoke machine, and it was for a performance at the Nike Pavilion, if y'all can remember that back in the day, off Spring Street, and it was New Year's Eve. I'll never forget, got my first set of gold teeth, so me and CK pulled up in there, we rocked it with Young Ballers in the club. That was the name of the first song. So that's how we kind of got our foot in the dope with the music. And from there, it was on and popping because, you know, back in the day, we got to make a note on how the teen clubs were because we were all in high school and we were young. So, you know, Atlanta always been known for the clubs, 559, but those were, you know, kind of for older folks or whatever. But Eastside really got it popping with the teen clubs. Sharon Showcase, MBK, you know, we can name them for days. The Gate,
Okay.
Warehouse. So
Especially the Warehouse. I remember us being in the Warehouse with our Jordans on and our jogging pants. Me and my whole little crew be in the Warehouse, and y'all be in there too. Yeah, the good old days. So, okay, you said it started off with you and Chauncey. So tell me how it became four. How did V.I.P come together?
Okay, so now CK, Chauncey, he was a little older than me. Actually, I was the youngest one in the group. And by the time he graduated, you know, he was a smart guy, very talented. Did a lot of things. So he was going off to college, and I was kind of left behind. So ended up linking up with some other guys from Cedar Grove High School. My brother, Mr. Remo, Mr. Ree,
Remo.
and Hoodrich Rip.
Okay, Rip.
So, you know, we used to, you know, just have little ciphers and stuff around the school. They call them ciphers now. But, you know, we just bust out the lunch table raps or whatever. So, you know, get school popping, get school lit. So it was a lot of different circles of people who would rap. And, you know, so we kind of just came together. Hey, look, this is what we doing. We got a connection with these DJs at the club. You know, my man's going away. He gonna be busy. And, you know, let's keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come through when he got the time. But, you know, let's do this thing. You know, and I did fail to mention that the name V.I.P was definitely something from CK. So. All right, so back to the other members. So Mr. Ree and Rip kind of came along just through mutual relationships at the school, and then we just started linking, writing raps together. I don't even think they were really even rapping at all, but you know, I guess they saw the energy of what was going on. You know, just the whole. The connections of everybody, the club promoters, the DJs, we in the club, we on stage, you know what I'm saying? It just made sense to come together and put the swags together to, you know, just get lit. You know what I'm saying?
The energy was there.
100.
Okay, so it started off as 2. So tell me, how did V.I.P come together? How did 2 wind up being 4?
Okay, so once CK graduated, he had a full scholarship to Morehouse. He was in ROTC. So he was very busy, and I was still engaged writing music, doing my thing. You know, we had our first shows. You know, we got started doing more shows, and I didn't want to do it all by myself. So found some other lit dudes in the school. My partner, Mr. Ree, and Hoodrich Rip, now known as Hoodrich Rip.
Yeah, her Rip.
Yeah,
my boy.
Salute. So, you know, we all listen to the same types of music. You know, a lot of 3-6, a lot of Player Fly, but a lot of Mobb Deep, a lot of, you know, Locks, that type stuff like that. So, with that said, our early music was club music, because that's what we were doing. We were actually in the club. So for us to really just get started and have a chance to go straight to the club, you know, with our connections to the DJ and the promoters, that was something special, you know.
So, looking back, thinking back, what really first got you into music?
My personal story is, you know, I've been playing music as a musician since I was 6.
What instruments?
I started off with just a little keyboard. I never forget, you know, growing up, celebrating Christmas, and we had this one Christmas that was just a lot of stuff, and I got a keyboard, and I just started playing Christmas carols by ear. So that was how my family helped me discover that I had an ear for music, and from there, you know, it was band, and you know what I'm saying, I also started writing raps early, like maybe 3rd grade. You know, I got to give a shout out to my mom too. She was a teacher in Atlanta public schools, and she taught crisscross, both of them, and you know, they kept in touch with her, and you know, that was an inspiration just to, you know, see that close, you know, see those guys really take off the way they did. So you know, but I have a music background, professionally trained, you know, all the way up to going to college and getting a degree in the music. So
you just had a natural ear for music? You were able to just play the keyboard without reading it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that. That's something good to know. Okay, so did you venture off to any other instruments?
Definitely. You know, I played, you know, school band, so saxophone, and later started playing brass. I ended up getting a scholarship to a school in Louisiana, Southern University. Shout out to SU. You know, that was able to open up some other doors for me. But yeah, I'm classically trained. Okay, so tell me about the introduction from the new 2 members of the group, and then when they were finally able to meet CK, when y'all all came together. Okay, so once we got popping, CK's off in college, and we ended up getting this song, Don't Buck, our first song. We recorded it in Sun Valley with DJ Threat. Shout out to Threat. He produced the track. You know, we came together and do it, and CK in college, and, you know, for some reason he wasn't able to make the session. So once he heard the song, we actually took it to the studio. You know, he was like, oh, man, you know, he wanted to be on the song, you know, because it was a club song. You know, we was already performing in the club, and so once he saw that, you know, hey, we keeping it active, you know, he started coming around a lot more. And, you know, it was just like magic, because it's 4 different personalities, 4 unique personalities of people, you know, different styles of rapping. You know, as I said, we started club, but, you know, once we got to know each other a lot better, you know, we started becoming more lyrical rappers, you know, so... And that's a whole nother phase of V.I.P. right there.
Okay, so how would you describe the music that y'all created, and how did it evolve? Like, was it crunk music? Was it snap music? Was it?
Yeah, so definitely it was crunk. So I want to give a shout out to Murder Mob, and that was a clique that was produced by DJ Threat that we performed with and did songs with. So they had a club popping called Throw Them Bows, and it was popping on the east side. It really started taking off, and that's kind of what we took to. So we were being produced by Threat as well, and so that's kind of what we did, kind of club music. So for me, I wrote a lot of my music based off of 3-6 and Player Fly. I would literally listen to them and almost take their cadences and change the words,
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of the hooks, and then Rip and Remo. They brought their swag to it. So the early music, as I said, they didn't start off as rappers, so, but they surely developed real quick because by our next few songs that we started recording, it was like, who are these guys? It's like, man, I got to step my game up because they really started showing their lyrical skills.
Okay, so who helped V.I.P get the wheels turning as far as production?
Definitely. Got to give a shout out to DJ Threat. He was like almost like a Dre in my eyes, because he was very passionate about his production. Just like artists are. We're a certain way about our craft, about what we create or whatever. So, and I saw that in him, being a musician myself. So, everybody was rappers, but I had a different connection with the music. So I kind of spent a little bit more time on the Threat, learning production. He actually, watching him is what got me started as a producer. But Threat, he was out the east side, like I said, Sun Valley. He was already producing the Murder Mob and Lieutenant Drama, some other guys who we had connections with from via school in the hood or whatever, and he was also DJing. With that, he had as a DJ good connections with the promoters. Now we talking about other guys that's in high school. Got to give a shout out to Lil Low and Wallow. R.I.P. to Wallow, but they were young and in high school, and they were throwing huge team parties at all the major clubs from the east side to the west side back then. And with DJ Threat as well as DJ Triple D, who also produced some later songs for us, they would DJ those sets, and then we would get a chance to open up for major artists, C Murder, Big Mike and the Fifth Ward Boys. We opened up for Pastor Troy's first performance in Atlanta at the Atrium. I'll never forget that.
Did he also play a part in you all going to the studio? Like, when did y'all first just start really being in the studio?
Definitely. So yeah. So when we left out of the bedroom, recording in the bedroom in Sun Valley, we would go to Lionheart Studios on Memorial Drive. That's the first actual recording studio that I was in. It was pretty dope. That's what we did, Don't Buck. So we did the first version of Don't Buck in the apartments, and we re-recorded it for the club and for our performances and stuff. And for the we was a featured bonus track on the Murder Mob album.
So Threat took y'all to Lionheart Studio.
Threat took us.
Okay.
Yeah, Threat took us. Mm-hmm.
So what was the Atlanta music scene like back then when y'all were performing?
Man, we talking. So our first performance was '97, and we performed together basically to '99, 2000. So we talking about Oomp Camp. Shout out to the Oomp Camp. You from the A, you know about Oomp Camp. They was huge. DJ Jelly. You still had Kilo, your Bounce. Like Atlanta was crazy back then.
DJ Kizzy Rock.
Kizzy Rock. Shout out to Kizzy Rock. Smurf.
Exactly.
Atlanta was crazy. You had the dance scene. You know, local rappers was booming. Like, it was a big time for local rappers. You know, we talking pre-T.I., you know what I'm saying? And also we still had, you know, South gems of the South like Outkast and the Dungeon Family. So, and you know, we were definitely huge Outkast fans. But
So, I heard you just mention Outkast and some of the greats. Who would you say were your top influences?
Outkast, UGK, 8-Ball, MJG, Player Fly. I listen to a lot of Pac. And then I gotta speak with my brothers too. Like, a lot of the music that they shared had an influence on me. Hoodrich Rip, man, he listened to a lot of North rappers like Nas and Mobb Deep and, you know, stuff like that. So that helped craft our, you know, how we write what we write about too, you know, coming from the club stuff that we did, you know. So.
Okay, so tell me, all right, so y'all going around, y'all opening up for these big artists. What wound up happening? What happened to V.I.P., the reason that y'all stopped as a group?
You know, so many other pieces. But as a group, well, you know, we just kind of, me being a schoolboy, for one, you know, once I graduated, I had a scholarship. It was like, do I stay? Because shit was popping. We're talking 99, 2000. You know, that's when Scrappy was starting to, you know, get on the scene. And, you know, the rest of the group actually did go on to do songs with, you know, with Scrappy and other parts of, you know, other Eastside and or whatnot. But I went off to school. You know, the other guys stayed active a little bit, but, you know, Rip ended up doing his thing. You know, I'm not gonna tell his story, but, you know, he's parts co-CEO of Hoodrich. You know, that's huge. So, you know, and to say that to have him a part of what we, you know, did together says a lot. You know, and we all still you know, doing our thing.
How you feel like you personally influenced the local music scene? Being, you know, being a musician and such a creative artist, playing all the instruments you played and then getting into the music scene.
Yeah, me personally, I take a lot of time to this day to work with the youth. You know, I'm an educator. I really look for those that, you know, really take it serious, and I try to teach them as much as I can. Almost like an artist development that's kind of missing.
And that's important.
You know, because the industry is, I mean, you got to invest, and a lot of people just don't have it. So, you know, I have a studio, I have talent, you know, I'm an educator, I give back to the community, so I pull a lot of them in, you know, don't charge them, and you know, get them to recording. You know, if they serious, you know, I work with them. So, and that's one way that I, you know, still influence the streets to this day. I got a lot of dope artists that I've been working with that's young, out of this new generation, and they not only, you know, just recording, you know, they seeing what I'm doing as far as production and just behind the scenes, and so I'm able to just share what I know, you know, and influence them to keep learning, as well as, you know, just keeping music, instrumental music alive in the community. I think it's important because it helps to keep the music progressing, you know.
And organic. It helps to keep it organic when you keep the instruments, the live instruments involved.
Right.
Do you want to shout out some of the artists that you're working with?
Yeah, shout out to LNFZ out of Stone Mountain. Cash, young lady, she sick. Miss Texas. AK, already know. Man, we got some heat coming, y'all. Shout out to Mr. Reed, we still working. V.I.P, we still working. I got a lot of stuff in the vault from CK. With the blessings of his family. Hopefully we can present something, and we still got some unreleased V.I.P stuff that I've been refurbishing. So,
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
If you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? Or would you do anything differently?
I think that if I had stayed in Atlanta, I think we would have had more success, going to the next level, because that's when things started bubbling. Right when I left. Would I do it differently? Nah. Everything happens on God's time. We still working.
Okay, so aside from helping today's youth and being a mentor and a role model to them with the music, what else are you doing now?
I'm just taking care of my family and, just trying to be the best me that I can be. Staying in touch. Been some crazy times, coming out of this pandemic, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just getting back to life, and, trying to press the gas, don't stop.
Okay. Would you like to tell everybody your social media sites they can follow you on, or if they like to link with you and work with you on the music, how do they reach you?
For sure. So IG at It's a Banger. That's ITSABANGR, no E. All right. Probably can't see it on my shirt. Twitter at CSouth101. Everything else at It's a Banger. YouTube. It'sabanger.com for your exclusive beats, custom production. Artists, look, invest in yourself, get some custom production, split this publishing, and, let's get a marketing plan together and let's break this bread. I'm a multi-genre producer, so, we doing a little bit more than just rap. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to say that this has been such a pleasure for me to be able to catch up with you after so many years and just reminisce on our mutual brother, Chauncey King, rest in peace, and shout out to Remo and Rip, the other members of V.I.P. Thank you so much for being on the real Eastside story, and as always, love, and I wish you much success.
Same to you.
I want to say it started back in 98, 97. Actually, me and Rip, we was probably hitting the Nike Pavilion, the West Side, the warehouse. Probably we was about 15. We've been in the club scene, like, literally. But I want to say Wallow, Lil Low, Polo, they brought what that was going on to the East Side. They brought it to the Atrium Vibes, the little clubs up on the East Side. And they were doing the teen jams and shit, and everybody was coming out. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say, I think Rip kind of caught on, like, man, we need to do this rap group. I wasn't even in no rap group. When rap, ain't no rapper, can't do it. But I could not believe I had some of the talented brothers around me back then. Clifford made the beats, Clifford Sutherland. The name of the group was V.I.P. Clifford Sutherland, Remo, Chauncey King, rest in peace, OG. And Rip. So they I didn't even know what was going on. I go to the studio with them, sit up in there chilling, it ain't matter, we doing our thing, whatever the thing was, but it hit me till they started doing shows and folks started knowing their verses. And you gotta remember this back, I ain't saying it was no tape deck, but we was I don't even know how they got it yet, for them to know the verses. And I'm looking at them on stage. They rapping my boy verses word for word. It got real, though, when they opened up for Pastor Troy. That was like like for me, I said, okay, obviously this is something. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you know, Trump was hot back then. So for somebody to open up for him, it was like our breakthrough. Like we saw that. So, you know, things change, things grow up. You know, everybody, you know, did their thing, but the lineage from that little scene brought out a lot of, and I say that the young niggas of the East Side, you know, don't get it twisted. When we was doing our thing, the old folk, the OGs, they had theirs, 559 Gate. You know, they ran the city. The East Side was it. You know, it didn't matter, Mirage, whatever. You know, that was there. But we had something going on that nobody could touch, and that was this young nigga shit. And like, I literally seen the homies breaking down bread, like the young niggas, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, getting to it. One thing about this city, the young niggas gonna get to it. So it was all a blessing. But as far as the V.I.P group, man, them boys really started something that, and I'm talking about back then, it wasn't no, besides Cash Money, it wasn't nobody with the rat-tat-tat and the pop, you know, the gun sounds and they raps. I know for a fact them boys brought that energy. You know what I'm saying? It was literally young nigga gangster rap. The same shit you hear from Crime Mob to Scrap to anything that came out. Ellenwood, Eastside, that lineage came from that. You know, Wallow, Lil Low, DJ Threat, you know what I'm saying? A couple other DJs, just what the movement was going on back around then. And really, if we would have sat down and really put it together, there's no telling what it wouldn't be this story, you know. But at the same time, this story is real because it shows a side of the A that nobody really seen, you know, like, only way you seen it that you was there. You know what I'm saying? It was a moment in time, but it went down. I never, 2,000, 3,000 kids at a show. And I ain't talking about no, these ain't no little kiddie shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were already grown before we were grown. Like I said, I know for a fact before I started partying on the East Side, I was partying on the West Side already. You know, you know how you tell your mom you're at your boy house, and then your boy, he free, we get out. You know, we take the train or the homie with the car, you know, pick us up and we out.
Don't book, unless you wanna get fucked. You with them East Side niggas and you might get stuck. Don't let this name fool you, player, cause we show don't play. You step on up in homicide, you might get in your face. On my face a mean mug, sticking shots off in the club. ESU off in the bitch, nigga be gone up off that bud. High as fuck, down the buck, ain't got no gloss on so like Chuck. If you wanna step on up, and then I see what fuck you up. Bustin' hoes up in your chest, then your buster ass to rest. If you fuckers cross my path, gonna be a bloody mess. Now I'm in the weed splitter, how you figure that you bigger than this nigga? AK sawed off double barrel slow pillar. Grab your block, let it pop. In gas you trust, let